Alright, welcome back. Okay, as usual, it has been a hot minute since I've last updated, but hey, to kind of make up for it, this is going to be a very long episode, because we are going to finish up Kamoshida's castle in this one run. No problem. We're going to go through the whole dungeon, and probably, hopefully, change his heart.
Something wrong? You were just standing around all of a sudden.
So, whenever Joker goes into the Velvet Room, in general, I suppose, because he can also go to it in, like in P4, in the actual real world, as opposed to just the metaverse, he just looks like he's standing there, which must be the most awkward thing ever if you really think about it. Joker is just in a back alley, standing there, comatose, just like with blank eyes, with a 1,000-yard stare. In like a back alley. Someone could easily just like take his wallet or whatever. I mean, Joker already has kind of like a bunch of stuff going against him, so I mean, this wouldn't be any different, but still. That just seems inconvenient. Especially in the metaverse, because this place is just out to kill you.
Let's go.
Also, hey, you know what's really convenient? Quick travel. Very convenient. You can just zip to the last place that you stopped in the dungeon. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like Persona 4 The Golden kind of had that, but that just kind of started you off from the last floor you were on. This one gives you like checkpoints you can go to. Okay, speaking of which, yes, Persona 5 The Royal is coming out next year in the States, and it's coming out by the end of this year in Japan. Does that mean I'm going to do a Let's Play of it? Yes. Yes, I will. Is there a point for me continuing Persona 5? Yeah, may as well. I mean, more Persona is never a bad thing. And I'm sure like P5R is going to be kind of like P4G, so it's going to have little changes here and there. And also, hopefully, like I said in the previous update, it implements some of the changes that I was hoping for, like shuffle time. But hey, guess what? New female party member. So that's pretty cool. I forget. I need to look up what her name is. But yeah, she's cool. And apparently her whole thing is she's not 100% on board with the Phantom Thieves. Which is like, okay. It's interesting. It's cool. But yeah, I will totally do a Let's Play of that game. I'm super curious as to what her persona is going to be. Thinking of like what each character's persona is going to be is just the most fascinating part of the game. It's like one of the more fascinating parts. Okay, her name is Kasumi Toshizawa. Okay, yeah. Yeah, she seems cool. She seems cool. Her Phantom Thief outfit looks pretty nice. And the fact that she has like a, she uses rapiers like Mitsuru, which is something I'm a big fan of. And she also uses like, a lever rifle. I'm probably using the wrong terminology for that, but still, it looks cool. Anyway, now we're surrounded by enemies. But it's not really that big a deal, because our characters are super badass. And yeah, Omnipotent Orb and just like busted ass personas kind of make fights like this a non-issue. Although Ryuji can't really hit anything. Oh well. So yeah, even though I have like completely busted personas that are massively over-leveled, at least Joker's persona, and I have endgame equipment, yeah, this video is still that long. It's still that long. Because dungeon crawling takes a little while. Fortunately, I have sped up a few sections of the traversal just to kind of like cut out some of the time. But still, it's about a 2-hour-long video. Just heads up. Oh, also, quick little heads up. You're gonna be seeing Persona 5 actually has a bunch of DLC. If I didn't mention that before, like DLC personas. And it also has DLC costumes, which also have their own unique theme songs with them, which I really, really liked. And I'm going to be showing off one of those DLC costumes in this very video. And the music that I selected for some of the fast-forwarded sections of the video should kind of tip you off to what costumes I'm going to use. Here's a hint. This is coming from a game that's also getting an updated re-release this year. Yeah, we're going to be stealing Kamoshida's heart well before the due date. Because this gives us, you know, more time for social link activities and whatnot. But this whole video, it's just nothing but the dungeon itself. There's a more stylish route. Really? We get to be more stylish? Awesome! I love being stylish. It's great. So, Persona 5 kind of has a stealth feature. Sort of. But unlike most RPG series, like, say, any of the Elder Scrolls games or whatnot, like, where you just, like, crouch and you hide in a corner. Yeah, you do that in Persona 5, but it's really, really fast, and you just kind of, like, warp from hiding spot to hiding spot. And it's very obvious of where these hiding spots are. And also, it kind of, like, makes,
Now, let's carry out our plan.
it kind of makes, like, the warning level of... It kind of makes the alert level kind of pointless when you really think about it, because this is a super easy system to exploit. You just hide behind cover and no one can see you. I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, it's been a little while since I played P5. But I'm pretty sure, like, even as long as you're hiding in a corner, it doesn't matter if the enemy is, like, right next to you, they will not find you. And also hiding behind corners, very easy to do ambushes. Not even a problem.
Show me your true form.
Now's our chance to strike. One enemy remaining. This is the last one. We're done here. Let's go.
Persona 5 is just such a stylish game. I love it. It is amazing. It is great. And I know this is old news. This is super old news, as a matter of fact. But yeah, Joker is in Smash Bros. And hey, guess what? That's going to be one of the videos I upload not long after this. I'm going to be just showing off a video of Joker's gameplay in Smash Bros. At least my earliest attempt of playing as Joker in Smash Bros. And yeah, Joker's really fun in Smash Bros. He's kind of, he's got a lot of options to work with. And no, he's not just another sword character. He has his gun and he has his knife, which makes him a lot... Honestly, if I had to compare him to any of the other characters, it'd be kind of like... He's a speedy, dexterous character. Kind of like Captain Falcon, but without the Falcon Punch and stuff like that.
I have something.
I don't know. Every time I play as Joker, he just moves super friggin' fast. Which he should. So hey, look at that. There's some ram heads that might be important to get past this gate. I wonder what other Atlas property had rams in it. Interesting.
How suspicious.
So of course we have that special ability that Igor gave us through our social link with him that just lets us see all hints. You have your third eye, which is basically just detective vision. It just trivializes a lot of stuff. Finding hidden treasures, finding, you know, all kinds of basically where the game wants you to go. No issue. It's fine. As I've kind of noticed in the RPGs that Atlas makes, the difficulty does not come from the puzzles. That's for another game that they did, which we'll get into later. But the difficulty comes from the combat. That's where a lot of the difficulty comes from. But considering I have endgame stuff, even that's going to be kind of like mitigated. I didn't pick the merciless difficulty, so this will be a relatively smooth ride. But hey, now we have a map of Kamoshida's palace. So yeah, a map is pretty much just what a map is. Gives you kind of the layout of the dungeon. Not bad. It's fine.
Now then.
Although we only have a portion of the map, so we don't know specifically where the treasure is. But roundabout guess, in any dungeon, the important thing is either at the very top or at the very bottom. Depending if it has like a basement or whatever.
Wanna get going?
So yeah, getting back to Persona 5 The Royal. I honestly knew they were gonna do. I always felt like with Persona 5 The Royal there was gonna be an updated re-release of the game, even though it is on PS4. But yeah, I'm super looking forward to it because of new possible personas, more costumes, more. There's like a whole nother semester, which I'm hoping like it's gonna be like the skiing chapter. Or the Valentine's Day chapter of P4G, which that expanded Persona 4, an already really good, solid vanilla game, into just something even, like, amazing. It added a whole new dungeon, new characters, new personas, etc., etc. I hope that, P5R is probably going to do the same thing, because it has straight up a new party member, which is more than Persona 4 The Golden gave us. And also, it's doing a bunch of other really cool stuff, like team-up all-out attacks. Like we had in P4G, where it had like Kanji and Naoto, Yosuke and Teddy, Chie and Yukiko. It was great. Kind of a bummer that Narukami didn't get anything, but whatever. Maybe they might do that for P5. Who knows? But that's gonna be something pretty neat. They also have apparently a nice teacher who's gonna be a confidant.
See it.
A new safe room.
And now it's time to put on the costumes. So yeah, a bunch of DLC costumes, but there's only one appropriate costume for this dungeon. Yeah. Putting on some Catherine costumes. There we go. That looks good. Yeah. Catherine is another game made by Atlus that I like a whole lot.
The treasure awaits.
I believe I mentioned this before, but yeah, I like Catherine. It is hard as hell, and I'm super looking forward to Catherine Full Body. It's a very difficult game, but I like it a lot. The voice cast, the music, the gameplay. Even though it is difficult as all hell, it's still so satisfying whenever you manage to do the puzzle right. And you do it even better when you get like a good time and a complete like combo going. Oh, it's great. That game is at Evo now because it's so good. Like me and a couple buddies, we used to play Catherine on the 360 way back in the day. And that stuff got heated. It was great. Like sheepmen climbing a tower. I think it's appropriate that I'm using the Catherine costumes for Kamoshida's dungeon, considering the main theme of this place is lust. And hey, guess what? Catherine is all about that. Because it's about a guy who cheats on his girlfriend with a girl who has the exact same name, but just spelled differently. And before you ask, I'm going to be showing off all the costumes for all the party members. Don't worry. So, if and when we do get more party members, I will show off their Catherine costumes. I mean, it's not like it's a spoiler saying more party members are coming. They're on the cover of the box. Like, that's not a spoiler. Also, Persona 5 has been out for a while. And also, if you saw the Smash Bros. Trailer, yeah, you know who the full team is. I'm not going to say their names just yet, but yeah, they're cool. The whole team is great. We'll be seeing them soon enough. Hopefully at the rate I'm going. And also, yeah, Catherine has really good music. It's got super good music that I really enjoy. Not just like Beethoven and all the other classic music, but also the original stuff for the game itself. Yeah, I think also Sparks Brooks, I think that's how you pronounce it, is a really good track. It's very relaxing. It's the song that plays mostly during whenever you're in the bar. Listen to Jameson Price give trivia about alcohol. Now it's time for Baton Pass. So hey, if you manage to hit an opponent's weak spot, you have the ability to go ahead and pass on your extra turn to one of your party members. And that really like buffs up their abilities and makes them super strong. So let's go ahead and do that with Ryuji. He boosts his attack and it gives him better recovery. And he misses! And he misses! My... Come on, Ryuji!
A spectacular victory!
Oh, and whenever you change the DLC costumes, it also affects the combat music and the victory tune.
Okay.
So the victory tune for the Catherine costumes is the victory tune from the actual game Catherine whenever you finally beat a stage.
Focus.
Just like an angelic choir saying like, yeah, you survived the night. Hey, look, there's a treasure chest. We already seen a few of those.
Nice.
Why are we worried about the guards? We're like super OP.
Let's go.
So much like Assassin's Creed, Joker can do an air ambush. Incubus is a weird demon because it has a very, very large penis, and it's just there, and it's a little distracting. Sometimes when you beat a shadow within an inch of its life, and if it doesn't just straight up die, it might say, "Hey, come on, dude, don't kill me. Well, we can work this out." And that's when you can start making your demands, or you can just kill it. It's up to you. Like, say, I want a new persona. I want money, or I want items.
Okay.
Sometimes they're being like, "Are you sure that's what you really want?" And then they'll go on and do their own little thing, and then they'll do the usual SMT thing, and they'll ask you a question. Depending on the demon's personality, they'll either say like, "Hey, that's cool. here, have some extra stuff. Or they'll say, oh, you asshole, let's get back to fighting. I'm going to murder you. You know, stuff like that. Or they might just get really scared and run away.
Losers.
Conversing with demons, like I said in the previous update, it's not any new territory for the SMT series. You know, this is kind of the whole way that you get demons or personas in Persona 5. You know, you get demons by talking to them, straight up. And there's always like, there's a guide online to tell you like different personality types and what you should probably say for each one. Because sometimes kissing their asses doesn't really work. Sometimes a demon will just really like it whenever you say, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, or I'm freaking crazy, or you know, it's a hard time. You know, we've both been dealt like a bad hand. It all depends on their personality types. It kind of makes you feel a little sympathetic for the demons, even though they were just trying to murder you, and some of them are horrible sex demons, or basically the devil himself, which is weird in this series of games, because especially in the SMT series, like there's like 5 different versions of the devil. There's Beelzebub, who has 2 different forms, a giant fly and a caveman looking guy. There's Satan, just straight up Satan, who is a giant, like, scorpion demon monster with breasts. That's weird. There's also Lucifer, and there's 2 different versions of Lucifer. There's Hellel, which is Lucifer before he fell, and then there's just straight up Lucifer, who they both look kind of the same, but one's more emaciated and blue-skinned, and the other one's just more like serene looking. And they're not the same character. Lucifer is not the same as Satan. Because in the SMT series, this is weird talking about this, literally Lucifer's the main character. And I think I mentioned this also in SMT3 Nocturne, the person who's probably the most sympathetic, or who you can actually seem like, the person who seems like they're most on the level is Lucifer. Everyone else is a crazy asshole. But that's Nocturne. But then again, that's also the canon path, like teaming up with Lucifer in that game. Video games are weird.
What are your thoughts?
I'm pretty sure in Persona 5, in Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight, the Demi-Fiend is a costume for Ren. And yes, I know, I mentioned I would do the fighting games for P4 and the dancing games as well. I'm gonna get to that, don't worry. That's gonna be coming up soon. I haven't actually played Persona 3 or Persona 5 dancing. I've beaten Persona 4 dancing, I got the platinum for that, so I'm gonna be doing all 3 of the dancing games and the fighting games, at least doing the story bits. Just to kind of fill in the lines of what happened to the P4 gang, or what happened to the P3 gang. Apparently, they all just started dancing. And I'll get more into why the Persona 3 dancing game is a little weird when I get to it. I'll explain in detail.
What's the matter? We all did great, that was incredible, Skull. Yeah! Victory!
Oh boy, Dormina. That's a skill I'll never use. Speaking of, here's kind of my opinion on status effect spells. I don't like them. Unless it's debilitate, nah, I don't like them. Like, oh, it can paralyze an enemy, or oh, it makes them go to sleep, or oh, it poisons them. I don't really go for those moves. Like in Pokemon, I try to use basic moves to like weaken a Pokemon and then I throw the Pokeball at it. I don't really bother with make it sleep or make it friggin' paralyzed or whatever. And I'm never into that. Status effects are just annoying to me.
I have something. It's somewhere.
We're surrounded. 3 enemies.
Oh no, I got too cocky. Oh, and it doesn't matter.
Who's next?
Endgame weapons are the best.
Victory.
Power.
Yeah, Arsene's level 96. And this isn't even my final Arsene. I gotta workshop him a little bit to give him really good moves. But right now, he's just buffing Ren's stats, so that's all I need. A level 96 Arsene in the first dungeon. It's a little overpowered. It's a little overpowered. Just a
Show me
pinch.
your true form.
All right. The first move is ours. Took one out.
Yeah. Joker's gun is really good.
Victory.
It's really good. Again, it's an endgame weapon, but I'll get into just how busted and how good that weapon is later on when we get to that mechanic.
Man, that was easy. It's somewhere. Hey, look.
So, time for more puzzles. Now, just a heads up for anyone who is playing this game for the first time. A quick warning. Just because I can get through these stages in one go because I'm using New Game Plus stuff does not mean you should try. Because keep in mind, a big factor of what keeps you going in the metaverse is your SP. If you don't have SP, you are not going to last very long.
I'll reveal your
Because
true
SP is your magic, and you need magic. And unless you have endgame weapons, you're not going to get as far as I did here. Because when you start off, the weapons that you get are appropriate for the dungeon.
Nice.
And it's kind of expecting you to use like, hey, use your magic for fighting, or hey, use your magic to heal, because you might run out of items. And in Persona 3, they kind of did this like a bit more where you couldn't entirely cheese it with New Game Plus stuff. Kind of, sort of, because characters had status conditions. Like, hey, I don't feel so good today. I need to take this off. I need to, take today off. And their conditions would affect them like, hey, they might be more prone to being poisoned or being affected by status effects. Or they might not hit as hard, or they might miss more often, etc., etc. They kind of did away with that in Persona 4 and 5, which I'm glad. Now it's just a matter of watch your SP.
I can see it.
But the SP management, not really going to be that big of an issue, even in the later portions of the game. And we'll get to that in a bit. But right now the way to beat this puzzle is just get 3 books.
Yeah. Nice.
A spectacular victory.
Okay.
That was easy.
Hmm?
The Queen book.
Uh,
I have myself a book about Queen. It's a book about their history, and it's a book about the history of the band. It's pretty good. I like Queen. Queen's cool. They're so cool, in fact, that they're the main antagonist for JoJo Part 4. See, I brought it back to JoJo. JoJo Part 4 is pretty similar to Persona 4, but JoJo 5, or Golden Wind, or Geo Geo, however you want to call it, kinda similar to P5, sort of. I mean, you're not really stealing anyone. I mean, no one's really stealing anyone's heart in JoJo Part 5. I mean, kinda, sorta. I mean, Giorno does kind of do that one thing with like a heart, I'm pretty sure, at one point or another. I want to say that he does. But the closest I can kind of draw parallels to here is the main characters in JoJo Part 5 are gangsters, And the characters in Persona 5 are thieves. So that's kind of similar, I guess.
Okay.
So some treasure chests are straight up locked. Now, unlike in Persona 4, you don't have to go looking around for like a big key. You just make lockpicks. Anyway, now it's time to go ahead and use those books to solve this puzzle. And it should be pretty obvious as to which goes with which. Kamoshida does not seem like the bookish type.
Well then.
I can see it.
The history of Kamoshida. Yeah, Kamoshida is... He's pretty full of himself, isn't he?
Joker.
I wouldn't want to read any of those books.
Well.
So the book for Kamoshida is the King's Book, because he thinks of himself as the king,
I can see it.
and Shujin Academy is his castle. And it has Shiho's name in it. Ugh. All the female students. This is gonna get a little skeevy, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, Kamoshida's a scumbag. Have you noticed? Ugh. So the book for that one is the Queen Book. Ugh.
Oh.
And we have only one book left, so it obviously goes here. But what exactly is this one about? About the volleyball team members. And as you remember, they're all guys. So the appropriate title for this section, so the book that goes here would probably be the Slave Book. Because Kamoshida is an asshole. The vulgar ape.
Damn it.
Skull's mask does look a bit like an ape. More on that later.
Ah!
Obviously, the costumes do not reflect in the characters' portraits, which is a shame, but whatever. Okay. Alright. Cool. Awesome. Amazing. Fantastic. Great. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, he's going down. This is bad. This is bad in many ways. Ugh. I don't care if he's voiced by DC Douglas. This guy is just the biggest fucking scumbag.
I can feel it.
Welcome to Brain Dead City, Population U, Kamoshida.
Hey, look at this.
Alright. Now we got another portion of the map. And we have our key. So, puzzle solved. This very, 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 very messed up puzzle. And now our map is done. So now we know where the treasure is. Yep. A big old question mark box. A big old question mark treasure chest. Okay, so we're at the 50% mark.
All right.
Shouldn't be that much longer before we manage to go and actually steal the treasure. We know how to best pace ourselves. Pace ourselves? What does that mean? Does it mean go through the entire dungeon in one go? No, that's not what it means, Joker. Well, too bad. That's what I'm doing. I think we should, like, pace ourselves and maybe take this one day at a time. No! All done. One day. One shot. Let's go. I love it whenever your party members are just teleporting all over the place, like zipping around in cover.
All right. Focus.
The cognition you...
I like the sheer amount of checkpoints that they give you. It makes you it really helps you pace yourself. And plenty of quick travel points, very useful. Speaking of Persona news, guess what game is coming out not long from now? Persona Q2. Now I have opinions about the original Persona Q, in that it does not matter. None of it matters. The ending just basically has everyone forget the entirety of the game. Yep, it may as well have all been a dream. Because everyone just straight up forgets. Which I do not like that whenever that happens in a game. Whenever the whole thing may as well have not happened and no one's gonna, like, remember anything. Because of course they can't remember. Because certain characters that have no right being there are there. And it obviously takes place during two different time zones, two different time periods. Like in the Persona 4 crew, it happened before they found out who the killer was. And the Persona 3 crew, well, it happened before a certain event in the game. Like a little, like around the halfway mark in Persona 3.
Let's go.
And now with Persona Q2, it's gonna get all kinds of kooky crazy because not only are we having all the characters from all the games show up, so we have those previous two problems again, but also let's not forget they're introducing the Persona 3 female protagonist into the mix, which just like,
I can feel it.
which just throws a whole nother level of complexity. There's just two different versions of where this and I think there's like a cutscene that says like, hey, I came from another world where all these guys were my friends, but now they don't know who I am. What the hell? And she's all alone, which kind of like is a really grim way of saying like, yeah, no, the PSP protagonist, everyone forgot about her because she was on the PSP, and yeah, we're not doing that again. No more female protagonist ever again. Persona 4 Golden didn't have that, where there's a female version of Narukami, and P5R doesn't have one for Ren. You could do a female Joker or a female Narukami. So, of course, since Kamoshida thinks of himself as basically like a king or higher than that in certain cases, obviously the gym would be his church. What a douche. What a douchebag.
Damn it.
Oh, is it time for a mid-boss? I believe it is. You can't just come waltzing in here. Really? Archangel, huh? It really, like, confuses me as to why, like, certain demons, yeah. But why would a... I guess since he's in a church, an angel does make sense for the enemy, but I always just saw... Although, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, in SMT, in the SMT series, angels and demons are kind of all assholes. There's not a lot of really nice ones.
He's trying to do something.
Not really,
Don't
no.
hard if you think you're in danger.
In the other SMT games, when there's like alignments and stuff like that, it's between law, chaos, and neutrality. And law means angels, chaos means demons, and neutrality basically means mankind. You would think law would usually be the good side, right? No, they're dicks. Their whole like thing is, it kind of boils down to totalitarianism, whereas chaos is just straight up anarchy. So, yeah. Really, usually in these games, the best ending is going down the neutral path. SMT4 dealt with that especially, in that its direct sequel was, hey, if you go for the law or chaos ending, you get an early bad ending. No, it's really, which version of neutral do you want to go for? Do you want to go for good neutral or evil neutral? Which is just different shades of gray. SMT4 is really fun. It's hard, though. Especially the DLC stuff. My goodness. There has to be a path to it somewhere. Joker, I hope you're ready for some parkour. To this chill-ass music. I think Joker is probably the most athletic Persona protagonist ever. Because you don't really get to see Narukami or the Persona 3 protagonist, which I think their name is Makoto. You don't really get to see them doing too much of like parkour and stuff. Sure, they play sports and whatnot, but a lot of characters in the SMT series play sports. Persona 2, Tatsuya is a huge motorcycle enthusiast. And he rides around on that, so that's pretty cool. Although I think the Persona 3 protagonist also rode around on a motorcycle if you're going for like the Mitsuru path. I think that's a thing that happens. And the boy with the pierced ear in Persona 1... I don't remember them doing anything too, like... And when I say athletic, I don't mean like, oh, one's more physically inclined, like one can handle themselves in a fight. No, they can all handle themselves in a fight. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, like, Joker is straight up doing parkour shit right now. Doing flips and, like, doing, like, backflips and twirls and stuff like that. That's all I mean. He's the most dexterous member. He's the most dexterous protagonist is what I'm trying to say here. He's certainly the most stylish out of all of them. Although I think a lot of people will probably still say that the strongest Persona protagonist is probably the third one. Pretty sure. We'll get into that later. Just a lot of enemies that you gotta deal with, and again, it's kind of like with Persona 4. You know, you're traversing the dungeons. There's not real. You're gonna see a lot of the same fight scenes go on and on and on again. You know, this is how you level up. This is how you level grind and stuff. But we can kind of go ahead and speed it up and keep this a little, and kind of like speed up the pace a little bit. You're still getting all the good highlights here and there. And also from the way that I'm handling a lot of the enemies, like the track, like the battle track starts up real quick and then ends just as soon. Now it's time for the part that initially, like when I first started playing Persona 5, like when I first got the game, this part made me nervous because there's a lot of really, really strong enemies. And the idea is you're supposed to do intense sneaking. And this is actually where I first started the online features of Persona 5. Because I don't know if I'll be able to show it off due to how powerful my party is, but in certain circumstances, there will be an instance where one of the shadows manages to like kidnap one of your party members, and then they'll say like, hey, you better back off or else your friend gets it. At which point, you can call upon another player of the game to have them give you assistance and basically like help free your party member. Usually by just shooting a gun at the enemy. But now since my characters are like have like endgame stuff, yeah, no, battles aren't really a problem. I can just kind of like carve right through them. Yeah, Barif is not a problem. Make a little extra cash on the side. Not an issue. And the door's locked. All that just to get blocked by the door. But you know what? Going through doors, that's too easy. No, it's time to parkour. Woo! Parkour, parkour. If it was too easy, it wouldn't be worth doing. Oh, there we go. That was a surprise. I got too cocky. Ah, well. I got cocky for good reason, because these guys are not an issue. Even though they did a crit on me. Whatever. No problem. It's all good.
Okay.
Problem solved. I like Vincent's outfit. I think it looks pretty cool. That shirt is just very eye-catching. The rave shirt. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, Ann in Catherine's outfit, probably not the best for her to be wearing at the moment. Mainly because she doesn't wear shoes. And this is probably got to be absolute hell on your feet. And if she is wearing shoes, they're very, very like small and not noticeable slip-ons. And Morgana's just dressed as a little sheep. Meanwhile, like, one of my favorite characters from Catherine is Orlando, voiced by Liam O'Brien, who I love. Oh, I love Liam O'Brien. He's great. I love Troy Baker, too. And also, hey, guess what? Troy and Nolan North have their own Let's Play channel, which... that's just perfect. That's absolutely perfect, and I love it. I love that they're friends. That makes me feel good. But yeah, getting back to Catherine. I think Orlando is, like... Orlando wears a freaking fedora, but Orlando's cool enough to get away with it. Mainly because he's voiced by Liam O'Brien. Orlando's kind of an asshole in that game, too. Oh, that also reminds me, in Catherine Full Body, you can choose which character you can play as, like, during, like, the Versus mode. So you're not just stuck with, like, a random sheep in a little night hat. You can play as Vincent, you can play as Joker, you can play as Orlando, you can play as Johnny, or any of the other Catherine characters. It's great. I hope that manages to carry over into single player, too.
I can feel it.
Or at least you can probably do it in Babel. That horrible thing. Alright, and all the statues here is all the girls' volleyball teams, but it's just their asses. And it's really gross and creepy and wrong, and God, Kamoshida is such a dirtbag. Such a dirtbag. I hate him. He is not a good person. He is the opposite of a good person. The worst. DC Douglas is a very charming and talented man, but boy does he play some scumbags.
That was so easy, I'm yawning.
Scumbags and just like,
Might be close by,
just
Joker.
assholes. For every legion, there's a Wesker. Or a frickin' Yoshikaga Kira. You know? Shit.
This looks usable. Let's take a break, Joker.
So we're getting close to the treasure. Won't be long now. I can't take you seriously right now, Morgana. Your dress is a little sheep. It's adorable. Which makes me kind of like hope. There's a bunch of costumes in Persona 5 dancing that are really cool, like the Demi-Fiend costume and all the other SMT heroes. And also the Yakuza series. They have costumes from the Yakuza series, because of course they do, because Yakuza's awesome.
I'll just add this.
But there's also a costume for Morgana where it lets him dress up like Sonic the Hedgehog. And some hero put a video of Morgana dancing to Gangsta's Paradise. Oh, God. Oh, that movie's probably not going to be great. Jim Carrey's giving it his absolute all. He's trying his best. And damn it, he's doing okay. Jim Carrey's doing okay, but... oh boy, that movie needs some work. It got delayed, so hopefully they fix some issues. I hope they at least fix the visual issues, but, you know.
Yeah. Focus. Focus. Focus.
This has to be a joke.
I can feel it.
Secret passageway. Where does the secret passage lead to? it leads us right back to the entrance. Handy.
Huh.
You notice?
And all the soldiers are gone now.
I can see it.
But yeah, there's no real reason to come back here besides to just like kind of open up the place and hey, if you missed any treasure chests earlier on, sure, go for them now. But the thing is, we don't really need any treasure chests.
Door won't open.
Not really. Again, I have endgame stuff, so any treasure that might be in this dungeon, not terribly useful. Not really. I mean, the useful thing about it is I can sell it for some cash.
I have something.
But, you know, besides that,
Somewhere. I can see it.
Wait.
uh-oh.
For real?
Nah, it's not that big of an issue. Because they stand no chance. There we go. Problem solved.
Losers.
A spectacular victory.
I like how Vincent's jacket indicates that he works for Italian Stallion.
Okay.
They had to get a Rocky reference in there. Oh, we got a bead. That's useful. Fully heals you. Back onto the creepy elevator. Back onto the ass elevator. This is gonna be kind of awkward. Just having 4 statues with asses pointed at you. Make me feel a little awkward. Make me wonder what kind of establishment I was in. I also like how convenient it is that the stairs kind of like build themselves for you to walk up. Because if they didn't, then wouldn't Joker and the rest of the crew just kind of be done? I mean, technically they could probably parkour anything at this rate. These random ass high school kids can just parkour. Do they give a justification as to why that is? I don't think they do. Like, Joker, we don't really know that much about his past. We can probably assume, considering that he's been branded a pariah, he might have been, like, athletic beforehand. Like, maybe he was a gymnast before, maybe he was a gymnast before he transferred to Shujin. It's possible. He could have been. Like, eventually we're going to get to a point where he does, like, pull-ups in the cafe. But yeah, that requires a lot of upper body strength, and the fact that he's pulling off like backflips and stuff like no prob means, kind of curious about what Joker's past is. But that also brings up like An and Ryuji. Like Ryuji is a track star, but his leg is busted up. Like they said that he kind of has his leg all screwed up from Kamoshida like beating the hell out of him. And An's in good shape, but you know what? Anime. I'll have to say that their personas probably power them up to let them do really cool stuff. It's all about perception. And of course, Kamoshida's dungeon has frickin' like pendulum blades. Why wouldn't it? Well, they're not really going that fast when you really think about it, so technically couldn't Joker and the rest of the crew, like, zip past that? Like, if they were going really fast, sure, that makes sense. But right now, they kind of have a decent pattern going for them. A very easy-to-read pattern. Granted, I wouldn't frickin' do it. I wouldn't want to mess with any pendulum blades. But you know, for these guys, that should be no issue. So now we need to find a way to shut off the pendulum blades. We need a key of some kind. And one of these stronger enemies more than likely has said key.
Joker. Indeed.
No way, man.
Yes, we can, Ryuji. We can totally beat the crap out of all of them. Like, no problem. So, time to find some shadows that had the key. Considering we had detective vision, yeah, this is not an issue.
That settles it.
We have eagle vision.
It's somewhere.
I like how the game doesn't really take into account your equipment whenever assessing the enemy threat level. Alright, yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, Frenzy is a bad status effect. I don't like it.
Team.
Because it basically just means your party members will attack you. And whenever your party is armed to the teeth with super good gear, that becomes an issue.
Okay. I can feel it.
Unless you're Joker, where you have a block all, but where you have an accessory that lets you block everything.
Focus.
Okay, that's excessive.
I have something.
Just massive ass statues. That's a little too much. Alright, so we're looking for the gold knights, because we have one. We have a key. And it's an eye. The ranty right eye.
Okay.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That just makes me... That does not make me feel very good. It's gross. I don't want to think about Kamoshida being randy. So we gotta look for another guard captain.
They were nothing.
Oh, well, there's a bunch of them.
For real?
We could beat all of them. That wouldn't be an issue.
Joker.
Yeah, Morgana, we have eagle vision.
I can see it.
And there he is. No problem. Bye, Eligor.
Carefully.
The lustful left eye. Ugh.
All right.
These are gross collectibles. I don't want these.
All right.
Oh boy. The alert level is getting a little higher than I'm comfortable with. 45% ain't great. Also, seriously, how many of these do you need? How many ass statues do you need, Kamoshida? Because this seems excessive. And of course there's succubi here. Why wouldn't there be?
Don't underestimate them. Yes! Victory! Nice work, team.
All right.
Oh, good. There's some boob statues too.
That was easy,
Some
huh?
opie statues. Speaking of that, hey, guess who voices Saitama? Max Middleman. Guess who he voices here? Ryuji. I guess that's appropriate. Or is it? I don't know which came first. The dub of One Punch Man or this. I forget. Let's go ahead and pop in the eyes. Wow, that looks creepy. But hey, the pendulum blades are done, so that's not bad. Snag ourselves a little bit of treasure. A soul drop. That's a pretty useful item. That restores your SP. We don't really need that though, because SP consumption is not really an issue right now, because we can really just rush a lot of the targets.
Reveal your true form.
Alright, the first move is off. Yeah! Victory!
All right.
That enemy was really weak.
Yeah, they were, Morgana. So far at this point in the game, none of the enemies have any physical reflect abilities. Or they don't have any innate nullification of physical attacks, or they don't have any reflecting of physical attacks. Which is very nice. Which means we can just easily just press the rush button, and that's it. Oh goodness, the statues follow you.
I have something.
It's creepy. Oh, no stairwell. They have been the entire game so far, why wouldn't they now? I guess we're gonna have to fight this guy then.
Now then.
This guy must be pretty strong. Better get ready. It's probably gonna be bad. Alright, time for a mid-boss. The majestic tower penetrating the sky. That's... I wonder... a little on the nose. Okay, really? Morgana. Bad choice of words. Alright. So yeah, there is a King of Desire. There is a persona called Mara, which is just a giant penis. Ugh. It was the Torn King of Desire. So that's I guess a portion of Mara,
I leveled up.
which is just a giant penis demon. It's some kind of fertility thing or whatever. It's gross. It's just a dick.
All right.
We really did not have to fight. Did we really have to fight a dick here? We literally just fought a dick here. Thank you, video game. This is awful. Awful, awful. And way too on the frickin' nose. Ugh.
Focus.
Kamoshida's gross. Let's just go steal this treasure now. Pretty cool effect for the stairs. Yep. It's like Lego.
I can see it.
Just gonna take all his cutlery and stuff. He doesn't need it.
There's a treasure chest.
Alright, so we got into the very top of the tower.
There's two enemies. Don't underestimate them. Ow!
So yeah, we pretty much we're pretty much finished with the dungeon. All we gotta do is just get our save point, and hey, then we just gotta steal the treasure. No problem.
All right.
Easily done.
I
Well,
can
that's
feel
that.
it.
Now let's hurry on.
What do we get here? A relax gel. I don't think I've ever used a relax gel. Status effect items that cure status effects, I don't really use them all that often. Usually if there's like a cure all, I'll use that, but like individual status effect items, I haven't really had the need to use them. And also there's a spell called like salvation, which not only heals you, but it also gets rid of any status effects. It's pretty good. Time has come.
What are your thoughts? Okay, let's go.
I'll just add this.
Let's go ahead and make a quick save.
Okay, let's get back to exploring. Seriously?
So of course the main doors to the treasure are not going to open. But you know what? We've been doing parkour the entire game so far. Why stop now?
I can feel it. I can feel it. I can see it.
Time to do some parkour on the ass statue. Great. Ugh. And we're in. Yeah, Ryuji, that's his main problem. He doesn't know when to be quiet, especially during, like, critical moments.
No.
There's like 4 of them.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, we can just, like, take the treasure right from underneath his nose. What an idiot. Sneaking by. Doing the little crouch walk. And now we're at the treasure room. And we didn't even have to fight a boss. This went really well.
Oh, what is this place? Holy shit!
There's a bunch of gold. Let's
That
grab it
treasure
all.
has gotta be in here.
And there's a huge, weird, glowy thing.
Hey, what is this? It's floating in the air.
It's like all cosmic and rainbowy.
That's the treasure. We finally found it.
Okay, but how do we take this? It's all ethereal and shit.
Just hold on a second. I was planning on telling you more once we made it this far. Simply finding the treasure isn't enough. We'll need to make it materialize before we can steal it.
Okay, how do we do?
What do you mean?
Desires have no physical form by nature. Hence, we'll first need to make the real person aware that their desires are in fact a treasure. Once they're conscious that their desires might be stolen, the treasure will finally show itself.
But how do we do that?
We warn them. Tell them, we're going to steal
Oh
your
yeah, just like gentlemen
Send
thieves.
a calling card? Oh, that's totally what a phantom thief would do.
It is so cool.
Once we do that, the treasure will appear for certain.
Phantom/gentlemen thieves are the best.
Again, either way, sounds like it's worth giving it a shot.
Our infiltration route is secure. All that's left now is to pump out a calling card in reality, then come back to take the treasure.
This is it, huh?
Let's do
That's
this.
the spirit. Once we send out the calling card, there will be no turning back. Just let me know when you're ready. We'll head back to the hideout and send out that calling card.
We get to send out a calling card. And, hey, the game's going to mention this again, but hey, once you send that calling card, that's it. Dungeon is over. You have to finish it up in that day. And if you mess up, there is no second chances. But hey, we went ahead and secured a route to the treasure. So overall, not bad, not bad. We did a bunch of stuff today. But now we can go ahead and leave. With no issue. Boy, these metaverse costumes don't really hide our identities that well. Oh yeah! We did a bunch of stuff. This won't really be that big of an issue, considering every time, if given the option, if I start up a dungeon in New Game Plus, I'm probably going to secure a route to the treasure within that same playthrough, unless the game has story reasons as to why I cannot progress. Which sometimes the game will. Sometimes it'll say, hey, kind of do the P4 thing, you gotta learn more about the target. Whew. That was a rough one today, Sojiro. I had a long day. Naturally, being in the metaverse leaves you super tired. So you gotta go to bed, like, more or less that day. But there will be a feature later on that lets you kind of like, even if you've gone into the metaverse, there'll be a feature that lets you kind of like recuperate, so you can kind of like still play around during the evening. But right now, yeah, you gotta go hit the hay. Because that stuff would be tiring. You're in a whole new world fighting demons and using a persona, your spiritual manifestation of your will. That would be extremely draining. Nice work, guys.
Now then.
Hey.
How you doing, Sojiro? Don't look at me for help. Okay, that's fine. What's on the tube? Oh boy. It has become a massive blame game.
Hey,
It's not really that big a deal whenever Morgana says, hey, you must be tired. Let's go to bed. Yeah, that's kind of a recurring trend in this game. You're going to hear Morgana say, hey, you seem tired. Go to sleep. To the fact where the voice actress literally read the Samuel Jackson book of Go the Fuck to Sleep in Morgana's voice. So now it's giving you tips of, hey, you want to go ahead and work on you want to work on some more of your social stats? Go to a diner. Like, maybe study there. Might help you, you know? Or it might make you more kind, or it might make you braver, etc., etc. This kind of stuff. Personally, whenever I studied, food did not really help. I mean, it kind of more distracted me, and I was more focused on, like, eating than I was on studying. I kind of had to be in a quiet place to do my studying. But, like, doing the background music and stuff like that, like the lo-fi stuff they have nowadays, it didn't really jive with me. It was too distracting. But you know what? What works for one person may not work for another. So everybody has their own setup.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and send the calling card, like, right away. Because like I said, we're finishing up that dungeon today. We're going to steal Kamoshida's heart, and hopefully that'll change him as a person. Make him less of a scumbag.
Okay.
It's a make or break decision. Really think on it. You cannot undo this. You have one shot. You cannot louse this up.
Let's go. It's finally time. Are you ready?
As Morgana's explaining, hey, the treasure only lasts for a day. That's it. And once it's gone, it does not work twice. You can only send one calling card. And if you mess it up, well, that's too bad. You're done. Where in, like, Persona 4, you can go through the dungeon multiple times in a row. Doesn't matter. It's still there even in the end game. Persona 5, once you've gone to a dungeon, you sent that calling card, and you finished it, that dungeon is gone now. It is gone forever. And once you send the calling card, your day is over. And you move on to the actual day of the operation. But yeah, you know what? We're good. Let's go ahead and send the calling card.
Kamoshida, that bastard's going down. Tomorrow's finally the day.
So we send the calling card in the morning and carry out the plan by the end of the day, right?
Correct. The effect won't last that long. Are you worried?
Waited too long.
Perfect.
Going to pull this off no matter what.
So, who's going to write the card?
Leave it to me.
Oh boy.
Why?
Why? Why
Well,
would it be me?
This is important. Are you sure you can handle the pressure?
no one has faith in Ryuji.
I really want to get him good. Let me write it.
You know what,
Come on,
Ryuji?
please.
Go for it. You can do this. I believe in you. Ryuji, you were my first friend here so far, okay? So,
Hey, are you
you
sure
got
about
this.
If they find out our identities, all this work will be for nothing.
I know.
All right then. Tomorrow it is.
There's a comic of Ryuji, Ren, and An having like a text conversation about sending the calling card, and then fucking Ryuji the idiot just posts the whole damn conversation as the calling card. Letting everyone know who the hell they are. And Ren's just standing there going like, oh god. What an idiot. I don't know how much I trust Ryuji's penmanship, but whatever. I made a logo for us! Yeah! Well, that's boring. I made it really good, y'all. I made it really cool. And I drew us a logo. It's great. Okay, Sarah. I'm counting on you guys. We can't trust any shitty adults. Especially not the one that you live with. The one that I live with is constantly threatening to... The one that I live with right now is constantly threatening to kick me out in the streets and turn me over to the cops. Did you always have that scowl on your face? No. I used to be an optimistic boy who saw the best in people. Now, not so much. Now I've seen the dark underbelly of them. Seems like the world has its own problems. People are dying in frickin' subway accidents. Trains are derailing. It's not great.
Okay.
There will be no second chances. You don't even have a TV in your room, you loser. Ren changes his clothes fast. He went from his uniform to like a jeans, white t-shirt, and a black jacket like in a second. That was fast. Go ahead and make some infiltration tools. Not that we're going to use them in the actual operation, but hey, nice to have for the next dungeon.
What are your thoughts?
Morgana, stop licking yourself while I'm making tools. It's very awkward.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, Morgana, you're a cat. I don't care what you say about being human. Only cats do that. Only cats can do that, you cat.
What are your thoughts? Okay.
It's hard to hold a conversation with you when you're doing that, Morgana. When you're licking your own crotch, that makes things a little awkward for me, okay? I'm sorry. I hate to be a buzzkill, but damn. Anyway, the lockpicks and stealth and all will come in handy for the next dungeon.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
So hey, we're more dexterous. Not like we had any issues with our proficiency to begin with. We can dodge pieces of chalk, like, easily. Time to kick off the weekend with a bang by stealing my teacher's heart. And possibly making him brain dead. Possibly. There's a very distinct possibility that might happen.
Hey! Wow!
A call?
Oh goodness, Ryuji.
I heard it was already posted by the time everyone got here this morning.
Sir Suguru Kamoshida, the utter bastard of lust.
Oh my goodness.
We know how shitty you are, and that you put your twisted desires on students that can't.
Look at that logo.
That's why we have decided to steal away those desires and make you confess your sins. This will be done tomorrow, so we hope you will be ready. From the Phantom Thieves of Hearts. Wow.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Not bad,
For
huh?
fuck's...
I looked up a bunch of similar stuff online for
Ryuji.
Yeah. I know what you wanted to say, but it sounded like an idiot trying to be an adult.
Your logo's a little lacking.
I thought it was cool.
Okay, you know what? That
It
ain't
was
true.
cool.
Did Mr. Kamoshida do something wrong? Does this mean the rumors are true?
Wait a sec. Is someone gonna take something from Mr. Kamoshida?
What's with this weird logo? And who are these Phantom Thieves of Hearts people?
Maybe we shouldn't be around for the
So,
fallout.
it's all good, yeah?
Uh-oh.
Who's responsible for this?
Look at that. A predictable reaction for someone who knows what we mean by distorted desires.
I think it's hitting him pretty hard.
Suck it.
Did you do this, or was it you? Was it you two?
What if it was?
What garbage. It's not a problem. You'll be expelled soon enough anyway.
And you'll be brain dead even sooner than that.
Come, steal it if you can.
You say it like it's a challenge.
Judging from Kamoshida's response, I'm sure we had an effect on his palace.
Does that mean the treasures appeared? We'll be able to get it today, right?
I can't read kanji, but I'm pretty sure that Ryuji spelled out something with those calling cards.
And it cannot be repeated. This will be our one chance to steal the treasure.
Probably says like perv
There's
or
more than enough for
bastard
us.
or something. Now it's time to steal us a treasure. Oh, and it's playing the good song! Ugh! It's playing Life Will Change. I love this track. Oh, but it's not the one with Lynn singing. You know what? The instrumental's fine.
Let's go.
Oh, this gets you so hyped up for a heist.
Come on, man.
And there's rose petals all over the place. If this is not a boss arena, I don't know what is. Time to steal the treasure. Let's see what it materialized into. A giant crown. Alright. Oh, we're back in our thief outfits.
Yeah! The treasure has appeared!
Man, it's huge!
What do you think? It's just as I said. Now we can steal it. Oh, the shine brings tears to my eyes.
Kind of pisses me off. Why is it so pretty? Isn't this Kamoshida's desires?
Treasure!
He thinks he's a king, so it makes sense.
The cat's acting awfully excited.
Yeah, it's
What's wrong? Is something...
Okay then. And Morgana says he's not a cat. Not catnip, dude. Wow.
Alright, that's enough, you stupid cat.
I'm sorry, treasure gets me all hot and bothered.
Yeah. Forgive me for displaying such an insolent sight in front of a lady.
I'm sorry.
You're completely
I don't know what came over me.
too.
I just saw treasure and then I just... Ugh.
I couldn't stop it either. To think I'd be drawn to human desires this much. Doesn't that prove that I'm human?
It proves that you're horny for treasure.
Anyway, you guys need to carry it.
All you do is bark orders. Still, that was easier than I thought. I thought for sure there'd be some insane trap or something.
You know you just jinxed us, right, Ryuji?
If we take this back, right? Kamoshida will change too.
That should be the case.
I guess we're just hauling this big-ass crown out of the friggin' palace.
It's heavy.
Hopefully there's no enemies that are gonna encounter us along the way.
Found 3 persona users in the process.
There's a little ass on the top of the crown, too.
I made the right choice in making a deal with you.
I can see it. Oh cool, the magician went up. Now we can do baton pass with Morgana.
Alright.
Hey Kamoshida, we're stealing your shit!
Let's go, Kamoshida!
Wait, what? Oh shit, volleyball! I do not need to see this man's Speedo.
I won't let anyone take this. This proves that I am the king of this castle. It is the core of this world.
Let's shoot him.
That's how he sees
It's a little creepy, isn't it?
Yo, pervert! Were you waiting to ambush us?
I just made it easier to find you. I'll dispose of you myself. Right here, right
You sure about that?
That's our line, you sexually harassing D-bag.
Thank you.
What a selfish misunderstanding.
What are you talking about?
How is it a misunderstanding? You were doing things that you kept in secret from others.
To underage girls.
People around me were the ones who kept it secret. Adults who want to share in my accomplishments. Students who have the drive to become winners. They willingly protect me so that we all...
Can we just bash this guy in the face now, please?
Profit?
There are too many imbeciles who don't understand that. Including naive brats like you and that girl who tried to kill herself.
True. She's a total idiot. Letting you manipulate her. Trying to commit suicide. And I'm even more of a dumbass for not realizing that. But no matter what kind of fool someone might be, they don't need your permission to live their lives!
Yeah.
Drop the attitude, you mediocre peasant. There is no wrong in using my gifts for my gain. I'm a cut above all other humans.
Above? You mean beneath? You're a goddamn demon obsessed with your
You're
sick
about to get
desires.
shot in the dick like multiple times. Like more than 10.
That's right. I'm not like you. I am a demon.
That's a creepy face if I ever saw one. Okay. Make my monster grow!
What the hell?
Oh, gross. Oh, that's a... Ugh. No, you're not. Alright, let's finish this. Ew. So, this is Asmodeus, the demon of lust. Not the most dignified version of the demon. That is a, ugh. There's so much wrong with this character.
Catch him off guard and steal it. Let's attack him and wait for that opportunity. Fine. We can take on Kamoshida himself. Everyone,
Enjoy bullets. Shotgun. Slingshot. We got him at half his health already. And machine gun. Wow. Get fucked. Ew. Well, alright. That's creepy.
he healed himself?
Bite.
Is it because he ate those inside
Let's
there?
go ahead and get rid of that. Also, look, there's a little on in the wine glass. And he keeps eating the creepy legs. Stop saying things.
We won't last if we leave that trophy be.
Well, I guess we're breaking it then. Don't touch my ass trophy, I like it.
When someone tells us not to do something, it makes us want to do it.
Exactly. Shoot it more! Yeah!
All right.
Oh, he looks all bummed out. Time to kick his ass. So what? Who gives a shit?
You look down on everyone, but you're seriously lame right
Exactly.
We came all this way to steal that. Will you just give it up?
Before we seriously hurt you. Look at Joker's gun! It has teeth! And a horrible demon red eye! Let's kick his ass. All out attack, bitch!
We won't get anywhere. with
It
brute
feels like
force.
we're getting away with brute force, like, easily. But hey, in certain battles, like boss fights, you can go ahead and issue special orders. Now, this takes one of your party members out of the fight for a bit, but hey, if it works properly, then it gives you a huge advantage on the boss. Now, I don't need to do this because, you know, New Game Plus stuff. So the first round of this is going to kind of go over very quickly. So the first round of this is going to go over very quickly. However, don't worry, I'm going to show off all the options.
Without him noticing.
But for now, let's just beat the hell out of him. Who even gives a shit? Just kick the shit out of him. And maybe block a little bit.
Let's take that treasure. Time to show you my skills.
I can go whenever you want.
Gross. He keeps looking at me.
I can go
So let's go ahead and send Ryuji.
Keep him distracted by attacking him. Leave it to me.
Attack Kamoshida. Keep him busy.
Yeah. This won't really work that well. This kind of won't work because I'm gonna kill him too soon. That's kind of the difficult part about a New Game Plus run doing this kind of stuff. Because I end up killing the boss too quickly. So you don't get to see it all the way through. But don't worry, I show it off. I show it off. Uh-huh. That's a volleyball term.
Feels like he's gonna attack. Keep your guard up.
Let's see this patented kill shot. Let's see what happens. Not that bad. Evidently, this attack is like almighty, or some kind of non-elemental attack, considering it can attack Joker. Uh-huh.
What a total moron.
Thank you, Ryuji.
But at least it's letting me get closer to the treasure.
Oh. Gross.
Attack Kamoshida. Keep him busy. Attack Kamoshida. Keep him busy.
And down he goes. Like I said, New Game Plus kind of breaks this fight. So the strategy to go steal the crown, not entirely necessary, but we will see it, don't worry.
It's a step forward.
But hey, level up. Headbutt.
What do you think?
This new skill suits me.
Aw, sweet. Zoro now knows media, which is a pretty good move. But let's go ahead and see how the plan actually works.
Take that treasure.
I've gone ahead and nerfed Joker a little bit by giving him a weaker persona.
Go whenever you want. Gotcha. Keep him distracted.
So he's not going to be doing insane amounts of damage, so we can actually see the plan in action.
Attack Kamoshida. Keep him busy. Late for the
I feel like that's not entirely true. I'm pretty sure there's lots of people who don't respect you.
Now's my chance.
You horrible, horrible bitch, man. Just because you were like an Olympic gold medalist doesn't mean that entitles you to do whatever the hell you want, you freaking sicko.
Looks like I gotta bring out the big guns. Slaves! Bring over you know what? Time for my kill shot from when I was active and rocking it. Kill shot, as in, I'll make the kill.
It feels like he's gonna attack. Keep your guard up.
Well, that one actually hurt Joker a bit more. Again, I'm using a weaker persona, so my defenses are not as strong. I'm actually using Agathion, the persona that you get from fusing Arsene and Pixie.
treasure.
So we get to actually see Ryuji kind of get a little closer to the treasure. Just a bit. Just an unpleasant sight, just in general. Like, he's naked, you can see his nipples. Oh, time for the plan to get in action. Booyakasha! There goes your crown, dumbass. Nice Gollum impression.
Good. Kamoshida.
Kick his ass.
I think we can do this.
He's dejected. He's all depressed now.
Yeah, nice one, Panther.
Persona.
Now we just do a lot more damage. Like a lot more damage. Now let's see what happens if we send On. Each of the characters give their own line about going through with the plan. On kind of says, like, he keeps looking at me. I don't know if this is gonna work.
Roger. Attack Kamoshida. Keep it.
And hey, guess what? Yeah, it doesn't work. On cannot get close to the treasure because he keeps staring at you. And also, she does the freaking Catherine run.
Hey, shouldn't
She does the run from the game.
let's steal.
She does the run that Vincent does from Catherine.
Gross.
Time to
So,
show my skills.
let's go ahead and send in Morgana.
Smart decision.
He doesn't know who Morgana is, so it's fine.
Kamoshida. Keep it moving.
So yeah, same thing. Only Morgana will have something different to say. Although at this point in the game, if you're starting a brand new game, might be a bit dangerous, considering Morgana is your healer.
It's all going as planned. Time to use this opportunity to take the treasure.
Morgana looks so cute right there.
Feels like he's gonna attack. Keep your guard up.
So yeah, it's not really that big of a difference. This is kind of all Kamoshida does. He's got a big damage attack, which I dodged. He has his golden knife thing, which is not that big of a deal. He can buff himself for his attack, and he can heal himself if you leave that trophy alone. But yeah, besides that, not that hard of a boss. A very creepy looking boss, but not that hard of one.
Attack Kamoshida.
Now, I don't know if he gets any new moves, like, say, in the harder difficulties, like if he actually uses that fork or that little baton thing, but from just the standard difficulty, this is all he's got.
He hasn't noticed a thing here. Good. Just a little more to the treasure.
Morgana's not as, like, vindictive as, say, Ryuji. Ugh. Yeah, he also does that. He also stares at On a lot. That's creepy. Oh, and he also has the lick move, like Lick-a-Tongue. Alright. Yeah, pretty gross, pretty creepy. Overall, just not a good person. Just gross. I don't like him. He's bad.
Feels like he's gonna. Keep your guard up.
Is there one less of you? I know they're missing. Where'd they go?
It's already checked.
Too late, dumbass. And booyakasha! So yeah, that's the Kamoshida fight in a nutshell.
Kamoshida's shaken up.
I think we can do
Just
this.
kick his ass and that's it. That's game. Just beat the hell out of him. And of course, An gets the killing blow. Appropriate. Bye, Kamoshida, you dirtbag. Anyway, let's move on to the aftermath. Ooh, that's much easier to carry. Oh boy. Action roll! Yeah,
What's
what
wrong?
are you gonna do now?
Running away? Why don't you run? Aren't you a great athlete?
It's always been like this. All those goddamn hyenas forcing their
We don't feel sorry for you.
I'm doing this all for them. What's wrong about demanding a reward for that?
Just dig yourself deeper into that hole, why don't you?
Excuses? We'll do something about that distorted heart of yours.
Scared right now? You're seeing the same view that Shiho did. I'm sure she was scared too. Except she had no choice. but to
Yeah.
jump. What will
An's
you
a little
do?
vindictive right now.
Or would you rather die here?
An's just gonna straight up murder your ass. Yeah.
Do you want to finish him off? It's your
Are you
call.
gonna make him brain dead?
Please wait. I beg you. Just forgive me.
Shut up. I bet everyone told you the same. But you took everything from them!
Carmen's smoking a cigar.
I accept defeat. You want this? Take it.
Thanks.
Go ahead and finish me off. You do that, and my real self will go down too. You have that right, since you've won.
On!
If his mind shuts down, he can't admit his crimes.
You're kind, Lady An.
Whew.
I've lost. You're through.
On the bright side for you, you're not going brain dead.
What am I supposed
Ideally.
to do now?
Atone for your sins, dirtbag.
All right. I will leave now and return to my real self. I'll make certain.
Don't be a scumbag next time.
Hey, just so you know.
Oh shit, it's Castlevania rules.
This place is about to collapse.
Everybody bolt! Anime! For fuck's sake, Morgana.
We're gonna die! We're so gonna die!
But
Hey, what the?
I'm a cat now again. Well, Ryuji's fucked.
It's been a while, so I just tripped this.
Fucking run, dude! Get your cross trainers on, bitch! Shit, it works off of Castlevania rules. And we survived.
That sucked.
Look at the nav.
The destination has been deleted.
Oh.
It's true. We can't go there anymore.
Would we want to, though?
What about the treasure?
Bitchin'.
What the?
A medal? Oh, wait, where'd that crown go?
If anyone asked, I'm an Olympic athlete.
It means that was the source of Kamoshida's desires. To him, this medal is worth as much as that crown we saw in the palace.
An Olympic medal. So, that perv kept clinging to his past glory and couldn't let it go.
But this means that Kamoshida's heart might have changed, right?
Hopefully.
Probably.
More expulsions on the line here.
Probably is not very
This is the
reassuring.
first successful example for me too. However, there's no doubt that this has affected Kamoshida's personality quite a lot. The entire palace disappeared after all.
Yeah, what does that
Feel
do?
all antsy.
I guess
Is
we'll
there a
find
way
out
to check
soon.
now?
We'll know soon enough.
Right.
But hey,
Come on,
we
why
beat
do
a
you
giant
lose it?
pink
Be
sex
happy.
demon.
We
Isn't
completed
that
this with
something to be
great
proud
success,
of?
you know.
We just don't know if everything's okay yet.
I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. Remember how Kamoshida's shadow said that he's returning to his self in reality? Suguro Kamoshida was a scum. Still, he did seem to regain his conscience somewhat at the end.
I'm sure it worked. It's probably fine.
There are definitely those who have been saved thanks to what you've done.
Yeah.
Anyways, I guess we gotta wait. It all boils down to what's gonna happen to Kamoshida. Or if we're getting expelled for real.
Well, let's be patient. See what happens from there.
Come on, let's go home.
But hey, good job, team. We did it. We beat Kamoshida and stole his treasure.
Ah, you're back.
So yeah, that was Kamoshida's palace, and now it's gone forever. It was all Ryuji. You helped too. You did good, An. You did good. It's good to have a black mage in our team. Yeah, Morgana's also pretty mysterious. He turned into a cat while we were running out of the palace. I guess because we were going back to reality? Is that the reason? Because, I mean, it stopped existing, so... Yeah, alright. So we couldn't summon our personas in that case, so why didn't we turn back to our original clothes? No, it's not Morgana, don't lie. I don't think you can do that on command. He said he's amazing. Hooray, we have more friends. We've got 2 friends and a talking cat. Not bad. Not bad given where we started. Nothing goes your way in life. What a positive way to look at life, Sojiro. But practical, I suppose. Bank transfer scam. I wonder if that's foreshadowing of some kind. Huh. Well, that'll do it for this update. In the next update, which will hopefully be out sooner as opposed to later, we'll see the fallout of stealing Kamoshida's heart. So, will it be good, will it be bad, or will it do absolutely nothing? Who knows? I guess we'll have to find out. Anyway, until then, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next update. Until then, see ya.